Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be focusing on the question, why doesn't my makeup look like theirs? I think we've all had that point when we're trying to replicate or be inspired by a certain look and we get to the end of it and we're like, why doesn't it look like theirs? Why doesn't this look like that? And there is a list of things that I wanted to talk about, and it's supposed to be lighthearted. I'm not trying to make people feel bad. I too have been frustrated with trying to replicate a look and it not coming out the way that I envision it to be. So let us get our list on why doesn't. That's what I titled it on my phone. Why doesn't? That's how lazy I am. All right. Number one is practice, and this can be two parts. Practice in the sense of some of these people that we watch are professional makeup artists, or they freelance and have done it so much so that they really know makeup. And that's not to say that people who are watching aren't makeup artists, aren't freelance artists, aren't well versed in makeup, but maybe they're not well versed in the style that they're trying to replicate. Do you understand what I'm saying? Also, when it comes to makeup looks, especially when it comes to tutorials and people are teaching you how to do the look, there's a very high chance that they've already practiced doing that look before. So that might require you in return to practice said makeup look because they've had to do it themselves. You need to be able to work with the information they've given you and try to adjust that, make modifications where need be to make that suit yourself. So practice is probably on the top of the list. The second reason why probably doesn't look the same is because of technique. We all have different ways of applying makeup, whether it's doing your eyeshadow first or later, whether it's choosing to bake or not, doing your eyeshadow from dark to light or light to dark. It's all with preference. And so if someone's technique is different, and goes back to practice again, if someone's technique is different, that they've mastered, that they're very good at, it would take some adjustment for you to do and be as well versed because you're not used to applying your makeup that way. I have such a hard time doing dark, like the dark crease color and then blending up into a lighter color. I have such a hard time doing that because I'm so used to doing the opposite, and I oftentimes find myself getting frustrated because I can't do that when I see other people's makeup looks and I'm wanting to replicate it. So technique definitely plays into the factor because you've got to find some sort of common ground in order to achieve the same look, especially if you're not used to doing said techniques. Sorry guys, I just finished filming my Would I Buy It, and I talked a lot in that video, so I'm trying to tone it down. Hopefully you can still hear me despite my air conditioning. Let's talk about complexion. I believe that complexion plays a factor in how makeup looks on different skin tones. It's just like when you put colors in front of a solid background, right? It'll look different depending on the background. And I feel that's the same with makeup. Maybe you're looking at someone's eyeshadow look who's a lot fairer than you are and you're going, wow, that looks amazing. You kind of have to think that it's not that it won't look good on you, but there's a high chance it's gonna look different. Silver eyeshadow will look different against a darker complexion than lighter complexion. Colors like those just pop more on a deeper skin tones. That's just the way colors work. And so if you're wondering why doesn't this look the way that it looks on her, my blending looks great, everything looks great, but just it doesn't look the same. And there's a good chance, I don't know why I'm stuttering, there's a good chance it might just be the way that the colors look against your complexion. It's just like when you look at an eyeshadow palette and you go, that probably won't look good on my skin tone. It's the same thing when you look at someone's eyeshadow look. Look at what the colors they're using and judge whether or not that will look good on you and how you could possibly modify that to fit your skin tone. Next up, we have skin type and skin texture. And so here we're going to focus more on foundation, base makeup, all of that. When we look at someone, I'm going to speak from a person, I'm itchy, this is how you scratch when you have makeup on. As a person who has oily skin, I know that when I look at someone who has dewy, glowy, gorgeous, amazing skin, it's so luminous, it's so blinding and glass-like. I know that for me, I can look like that, but I can only look like that for a set amount of time. Like you got a 15-minute window to work with, guys, because being that emollient on oily skin will not work. So you just kind of have to make adjustments to try and replicate that with products that will work for you. And it goes the opposite way as well. If people have dry skin but they like matte looks, it will not look the same because maybe your skin types are not the same. And so the way that your face naturally reacts to those things may be different from what you're expecting it to be. In addition to that, skin texture plays a very big role, especially with highlighters. Some people like very blinding highlighters. They just put it on so effortlessly and it just looks like wet goddess goodness. But again, for me, who has porous and textured skin from all of the previous acne that I had, I can't do that without, being able to reflect in light and you see those things, my pores, my, ice pick scars. So those things need to be accounted for as well. Does your skin texture match that of someone else? And that being a factor of why maybe that highlighter or that eyeshadow look might not look the same on you. Next up, we have facial features. Facial features, it makes us unique, but when you're trying to replicate, copy a certain look, you gotta understand that it will not look exactly the same, especially if your features are distinctively different from someone else. Maybe the person that you're trying to replicate has very almond-shaped eyes, very almost cat-like, but you have rounder eyes. The way that it looks on that person will not look the same on you. There are kind of adjustments that you need to make in order to make it close to, but if your features are very different, it's hard. It is hard to replicate it. So much so that you're completely satisfied with it, because it's hard to make it look that way when what you have to work with are two very different things. Same thing with lips. Maybe you look at someone and go, wow, that gloss, that lip combo, it just makes their lips so juicy and plump. But maybe you don't have fuller lips, so it won't look quite the same on you as someone else. However, I think it's also important to know that some people have been able to master the art of like overdrawing their lips to make it look almost like natural, and that goes back into practice. Facial features, we just gotta accept that we are not all made the same, and that's great. But we also have to understand that maybe what we're being told that we need to do needs modification because of how that would suit your facial features. I want to briefly talk about this. I might ruffle some feathers here, but I think it's a healthy conversation to have. I've spoken about it in another video, but sometimes we look at makeup launches and makeup releases and we see the products being used on models and we go, man, I really want that makeup to look like said model. A lot of models, I'm not saying all, but a crap ton of these models are just, by societal standards, kind of unattainable beauty, even without what they're wearing. Like, these girls are just gorgeous with or without. And that's how a lot of these brands sell makeup. They use these gorgeous models thinking that if you put a makeup that they're selling to you, you're gonna look like these models. And I don't want to go too deep into it. This can be a whole separate video, but I don't know if I want to touch it too much. But just know a lot of these makeup companies are choosing certain models with certain aesthetics to sell their makeup, when even without their makeup they would they would probably be considered goddesses. I'm not saying it to make anyone feel bad, myself included. It is just the truth. A lot of makeup companies use gorgeous people to sell their makeup. And maybe that's why we can't achieve their makeup looks, because it's just their natural features that's already like beautiful. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna sell me a highlighter, it would be really great if you didn't put it on someone who had impeccable skin without anything on it. That's all I'm saying. I would like something a little bit more realistic. Stop it. Stop it. I know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. So guys, that concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't take anything too seriously. I'm just speaking on the topic. And it was a topic that came up when I was trying to do a look that I saw someone else do, and I got frustrated. Even though I understand these points, sometimes it can still get frustrating when you have like a vision and it doesn't come to fruition, and you're like, man, I just sat here for 45 minutes and it didn't work out. Raw. But if you did enjoy today's video, I hope you decide to click on the red subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it. This makeup look, guys, I know, very colorful, very not my usual, but I'm trying to figure out my Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes, and if I can depot them, which seems like it's gonna be difficult from the depotting videos that I've been seeing, but I want to curate just the eyeshadows that I truly do enjoy. Anyways, this makeup can be found on Instagram. It should already be there for my previous video with a full list of products in the caption. Just be on the lookout for this eyeshadow look. Till the next video, guys, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye, guys. I'm so hungry. It's time for lunch. It's time for lunch. It's time for lunch. What am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? I think I'm going to make a salad and have something else. Obviously, salad is not lunch, but I'll put chips in my salad. Do you guys do that? I buy chips, like tortilla chips, usually tortilla chips, and I use it as croutons instead of buying croutons because that crap be expensive, and you can actually eat the chips afterwards as snack, even though croutons are good snacks too. Anyways, okay, bye. I'm gonna go eat.